AI is still one of the biggest buzzwords in the world of enterprise technology. It continues to change here in the 2020s, and it's going to change even more in 2026. But what are the trends and predictions for the coming year? That's what I want to talk about here today. My name is Eric Kimberling. I'm the CEO of Third Stage Consulting. We're an independent and tech-agnostic consulting firm that helps clients throughout the world with their digital transformation and AI journeys. And AI has evolved rapidly over the years. We have a few years of AI experience under our belt, both at the consumer and the business level. Some of us are still trying to figure out what the hell it means. Others have tested it on a small scale, and others have used it quite a bit and embraced it quite a bit. Despite all of this, though, AI continues to change, continues to evolve, continues to be unpredictable, and will continue to look completely different a year from now as it does right now. So what I want to do today is talk about 5 predictions that I think are going to shape how AI is viewed and how it evolves in 2026. Now, if you'd like to learn more about other trends and predictions we have for 2026 and other strategies we recommend for your digital transformations, we encourage you to read our 2026 Digital Transformation Report. It's a report we publish each year that highlights some of the trends and predictions we have for the year, as well as independent reviews and rankings and other statistics that might help you through your digital transformation. You can read that by scanning the QR code right here or go to the links below. The first prediction we have for 2026 as it relates to artificial intelligence is that organizations are going to finally figure out how to develop real use cases of AI at scale. Now, up until now, most organizations have dipped their toe in the water of AI. They've tried Copilot, they've tried using individual use cases for AI, maybe at the individual worker level. In some cases, maybe departments or certain functions have beta tested some AI functions or capabilities. In other cases, organizations are waiting to finish an ERP rollout to include AI capabilities. But I think 2026 is going to be the year where organizations finally feel comfortable enough to really truly innovate and try different things and scale the use cases that are working well. We have some clients, for example, that are trying on a small scale to do things like purchase order approval automation and three-way match automation, or in some cases, forecasting demand. In some cases, scheduling jobs. They're using AI for that to optimize labor scheduling on a shop floor, for example. But we have yet to see organizations truly adopt AI at scale and really think about how they could be using AI more broadly across their organization. And I think 2026 is going to be the year where organizations become more confident in doing that. They feel more comfortable with the tools they have. And they also start to recognize that they don't necessarily need to replace all of their back office technologies to be able to get some of the capabilities of AI. And I think the other factor at play here is at the consumer level, at the individual level, we've all have our varying experience of at least trying AI, whether it be ChatGPT or Perplexity or Gemini at home, doing our own personal tasks, that I think there's a broader group of employees that have some, at least limited comfort with AI, to where organizations feel more comfortable taking the leap and starting to go a little bit more aggressively toward AI. So look for use cases at scale to be one of the big trends we see in the world of AI in 2026. There is a lot of money and investment chasing AI startups right now. There are so many AI companies out there, AI-driven organizations, AI platforms. We all have heard about or know about ChatGPT and Gemini and OpenAI and Perplexity and Grok and all these different tools that are out there on the consumer level, and that's just one layer of AI. On the enterprise level, you have all the major ERP providers that are investing heavily in AI. But in addition to that, you have other AI providers that are building enterprise technology solutions using AI. And not all of these AI providers are going to succeed. Anytime you have this massive amount of money chasing a relatively small amount of startups, you're going to do a couple things. One is you're going to overinflate the valuation of these companies, which means that bubble will eventually burst, which means a lot of those companies will lose their valuations and some of them will fail. And it also means that other companies are probably going to consolidate. You're going to see some companies fail, but you might also see some AI platforms get acquired by other larger AI platforms or other enterprise tech stacks that want to build their own capabilities fast. And you're already starting to see some of that in the enterprise tech space, albeit on a small scale so far. But I think you're going to see an acceleration of AI software vendor failures. I think you're going to see an acceleration of acquisition of some of these AI tools. And I think you'll see this bubble burst eventually. I don't know if that'll happen in 2026, although it very well could. And I think once that bubble bursts, you'll see an acceleration of some of this trend as well. I mentioned ERP software a moment ago and how ERP vendors are, for the most part, investing very heavily in AI. In fact, I can't name a single ERP vendor that I know of that isn't investing heavily in AI, or at least touting the fact that they're investing heavily in AI. And I think what's going to happen here is the lines between AI and ERP are going to continue to blur. Those two categories eventually may become one. I can't imagine that we're going to have two separate standalone categories. I also can't imagine that people are going to continue to feel like they need an ERP system or a brand new ERP system to get AI capabilities. We've proven already that that's not true because there are so many third-party non-ERP AI tools out there that can work with a host of different systems and a variety of systems out there in the marketplace. So I think those lines will continue to blur. We'll continue to see AI and ERP converge, which I think is a good thing. And I think eventually AI will become a non-issue. It won't be its own category necessarily. It'll just be that all technology has AI baked into it. And so I think right now we're calling it AI because it's new and we're still trying to figure out how to embed it in everything else. But eventually it's going to be fully integrated with ERP software. One emerging trend we're already seeing that I think will accelerate and become a bigger deal in 2026 is this concept called shadow AI. So organizations with employees and work groups that are individually and independently creating AI use cases, buying their own tools, introducing their own tool sets into the world of operating their business. And this isn't a bad thing on the surface. It's the source of innovation in many cases. It's a way for people to embrace new technologies. It's certainly a way to gain buy-in for new technologies by letting people throughout an organization try different things and use different solutions. But it's a lot like spreadsheets. We all know how annoying spreadsheets can be. They're a necessary evil to run a business, but how many times have you been so annoyed or frustrated that someone has their own spreadsheet doing their own process that isn't consistent with the way the rest of the organization works? I think that's what we're going to start to see more of with AI. Not to say that AI is going to become a lesser technology or become obsolete like a spreadsheet may be someday, but to say that it's going to create just a huge variety, an inconsistent variety of different tools that are being used throughout the organization. And eventually there'll have to be a backlash against that, and there'll have to be some consolidation of those systems and some standardization around those systems in order for the business to run cohesively as a single consistent operation. So look for these shadow AI systems to become a real trend in the coming year. Because AI is so relatively new, and because we haven't fully deployed AI at scale across most organizations, and we're still trying to figure out how AI is going to look within our organizations in the longer term, there hasn't been a lot of guardrails or parameters put around AI. There hasn't been governance around how AI can or shouldn't be used. And all it's going to take is one or two small but big mistakes caused by AI or caused of lack of oversight of AI to create this sort of backlash. I'm in the consulting industry, obviously, and we're already seeing a backlash of bigger consulting firms that have been accused of using AI to create false reports and false data within reports that clients are paying large sums of money for. And that is inevitably going to create a large backlash of governance around how AI can be used and how humans need to govern and provide oversight to AI. This is going to be especially important in the coming year because companies still haven't quite figured out how to keep their data clean and ensure they've got data governance in place, which is a prerequisite to having solid AI governance. We can't have AI governance if our data is not right. But even with solid data governance, you still need another layer of governance over the AI tools that draw from that data to ensure that a human is validating that information, adding value to the information provided by AI, and ensuring that AI doesn't run amok and just do its own thing and make decisions without human common sense interaction with AI. So watch for AI governance backlash to be a real trend in 2026. those are my 5 predictions for what I think will happen in the world of AI in 2026, but I'd love to hear from you. What do you think will happen in 2026? Are there things I missed, things you don't agree with, things you would add to the list? I'd love to hear from you. Please drop those in the comments below. And if you'd like to learn more about some other trends and predictions in the enterprise tech space, as well as independent reviews and rankings of different technologies you might want to explore, be sure to check out our 2026 Digital Transformation Report. You can find that by scanning the QR code right here, or you can go to the links below. So I hope you found this information useful and hope you have a great day.